Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep final mix playthrough. Yes, the title is still incredibly long. So, basically now, it's time for us to go to our next kingdom. We pretty much, I think, do have free reign over the next two, but we're going to go to the Castle of Dreams first, because it's sort of the next in terms of the difficulty levels, I believe, anyway. And I really do love this piece of music. It's gorgeous.
It's just that my friends made me the most beautiful dress, but my stepmother and stepsisters ruined it, and I was so looking forward to the ball.
Darkness always finds a way into a wounded heart. You have to be strong. Strength of heart will carry you through the hardest of trials.
But
Unversed!
I think the reason that I do love this song so much is because it's so sad and so lovely, and then the fact that it just goes into this battle as well, it just works so incredibly well. And yeah, I think this is a particularly good fight in the grand scheme of things. It works out really well, because I think it's pretty much the only battle where that occurs. And yeah, it just works really well.
Strength of heart is important, but that's not all you need.
Huh?
there's nothing left to believe in. Nothing.
Nothing, my dear? Oh, now, you don't really mean that.
Oh, but I do. It's just no use.
Nonsense. If you'd lost all your faith, I couldn't be here. And here I am. Oh, come now. Dry those tears. You can't go to the ball looking like that.
The ball? Oh, but I'm not.
Of course you are. But we'll have to hurry. Now, what were those magic words? Oh, yes. Bibbidi-bobbidi-boo!
Oh, it's a beautiful dress. Why, it's a dream come true.
Yes, but like all dreams, I'm afraid this can't last forever. You'll have only till midnight, and then on the stroke of 12, the spell will be broken, and everything will be as it was before.
Yes, I understand.
Her heart was full of light. Why didn't I see it? What did you do? I can hardly tell she's the same person.
Who are you?
Terra.
Terra, in your heart, do you believe that dreams can come true?
I do. But I also believe you have to make an effort to make them come true.
Yes, of course. But sometimes just believing in dreams is easier said than done. Cinderella believes her dreams can come true. I wanted her to see that she is right.
So that's what made her shine. Faith in her heart that anything is possible. Where did she go?
To the royal ball at the palace. Go, and when you see her dancing, you'll know that she believes, and that will help you to believe too.
Oh, it's all really lovely. I have to say, I do really enjoy Terra's visit to the Castle of Dreams, particularly in sort of this early game. This is easily the one where Terra seems most like a human being, really, because he comes into the story at obviously a very key moment, and then actually doesn't get caught up in the story of the villains whatsoever in this one, which is really nice, because obviously throughout the rest of the experience, Terra does seem to have a propensity for falling into the clutches of the villains for one reason or another. I mean, also, I do quite like this world because you do get a bit of proper Disney music, because obviously we've got the lovely background of Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo! The one thing is that very much like the Mickey Mouse Club March, it does just get a little bit stuck, and that is all you're going to hear. Also Under the Sea from Atlantica, because, yeah. Who the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo! Put it together and what have you got? Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. Yeah, and this is going to repeat a lot, which is nuts. What I'm doing at the minute is I'm looking into all the stuff that I've got and how I work things, because obviously it's been a while since I had actually played through Birth by Sleep, and there are certain abilities that I definitely want to get my hands on. I mean, pretty much they're the ones that you are always going to want in a Kingdom Hearts game. You always want Leaf Bracer, you always want Second Chance, you always want Once More, because, my god, are those abilities so incredibly helpful. So, Once More basically allows you to retain 1 HP after being attacked by a combo that would normally finish you off, provided you have 1 HP beforehand, which is absolutely invaluable for getting through the more difficult fights. Then you've got Second Chance, allows you to survive a single fatal blow with 1 HP, providing you have more than 1 HP left. So they work in conjunction with each other. Second Chance is, if you get a fatal blow, it'll leave you with 1 HP. Once More is, if you get stuck in a combo, it'll keep you at 1 HP until the combo is over. And then I believe that Leaf Bracer, which is sort of the other key one, allows you to use Cure, and you will not get interrupted. So, in terms of actually making it through combat, those are sort of the 3 that you're always going to want to go towards. And the frustrating thing is that, whereas in other Kingdom Hearts titles, nominally KH1, KH2, they run on, you get it as you level up, whereas in here, the way that the abilities work is that you have to meld commands together and add crystals, and those crystals will add different effects which will then give you the ability, and then once you have leveled up that command to its fullest, you'll then get to keep the ability forever. Which is great and really fascinating. It does just mean that you kind of need to know what combinations work to get the abilities you want, otherwise you are going to struggle a little bit, perhaps, particularly in later fights, because those extra bits and bobs can be an absolute godsend. A few other things that we are, I believe, actually going to get in, I think, in this world, but we'll see in a minute. That's also really helpful, particularly with Terra, and everyone has their own variation of it as well, which is great. Anything that helps out, I am always down for. But yes, I have to say, of the three classic Disney princess films that they included in Birth by Sleep, I am probably most fond of Cinderella out of the three of them. And I think that's just because it's got more memorable songs than the others. I mean, obviously, Sleeping Beauty, you've got Once Upon a Dream. That's basically the only song that anybody cares about from that film. Snow White's got a few more, because you've got Hi Ho, you've got Whistle While You Work, Someday My Prince Will Come. So you've got three there that are quite strong. But then, I don't know, there's I suppose there's just an oversimplicity. Well, Cinderella could be criticised for that as well. There's just something about the way in which Snow White's plot works that is just not quite as engaging to me as Cinderella's.
You wait right here.
Please, may I go with
So,
you? I so want
yeah,
to
but then
go
with Cinderella you have Dreams Wish Your Heart Makes, you have Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, you have So This Is Love, and
You're not worried?
there's just... I think there's also just something a bit more engaging about Cinderella's character.
I guess I did.
In that she's a much more strong-willed protagonist than really either Aurora or Snow White. Obviously things go really badly wrong for her, but still. Now, we escort mission now. Yeah, this is actually quite a challenge, especially on Proud, because the enemies will always rush towards Cinderella, and they hit hard in this mode, and it's not like there's a huge amount that you can actually do other than basically rush ahead and murder. You can also do this thing where you press square and then can counterattack to prevent something, but pulling it off can be a little bit finicky. So the general trick is to charge as far ahead as possible, and that way you can prevent them from ever getting to Cinderella. But either way, it is just a bit risky. And you've got two of these rooms to get through, I'm pretty sure on one health bar. So in general, it's a bit of a mean segment, and not one that I am overly fond of. If you ever have trouble with this one, it's definitely just level up, because you just need that extra bit of strength to kill them quicker to be able to progress. But yeah, it's one of those where you just go like, oh, come on. But yeah, the other thing with Cinderella is, I think it's a beautiful looking film, and also, I think so far, because only two of the classic three Disney princesses have received a live-action remake. I highly doubt that Snow White will, but I think that Cinderella is definitely the strongest live-action remake that Disney have done so far. At least in my mind, anyway. Because I think I have watched them all at this point. And I think it's because the live-action Cinderella dares to be incredibly traditional, but do something very different to the original animated film, therefore existing as its own thing. and because of that, it just ends up being much more successful because it spends the time to fix the things that the original animated Cinderella suffered from, in being obviously a 90-minute animated film, so it has to rush through a lot of stuff that you would perhaps want to kind of fill out. It expands on the prince, it expands on Lady Tremaine, the evil stepmother. Just everything in general just ends up being more filled out, and I mean, also it helps that it looks bloody gorgeous as a film. So yeah, I've got a lot of time for the live action remake of Cinderella, and I've also got a lot of time for Castle Dreams in this game. And we get a lovely cutscene here that just annoyingly doesn't actually have any music. One of those instances of Kingdom Hearts kind of messing up in terms of the sound in cutscenes, but still.
Thank you, Terra.
Cinderella gets to go to the ball after all. Yay! Basically, this is your, so this is love, so this is love, so this is what makes life divine. I'm all aglow, and now I know the key to all heaven is mine. My heart has wings, and I can fly. I'll touch every star in the sky. So this is the miracle that I've been dreaming of. So this is love.
Unversed.
Sorry, I felt the need that needed to have the actual
How do I get up
Cinderella music there, rather than just the da 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 da. There we go. Also, what a lovely ball with Cinderella, the Prince, the Grand Duke, Lady Tremaine, Anastasia, and Drizella. Like very, very, very full, very fantastical ball. But there we go. I will say I do really like the fact that for Castle Dreams World, they got, I believe, all of the voice actors and actresses who have done the voices in the Cinderella sequels to do the voices in the game. So you've got Jennifer Hale as Cinderella, Russi Taylor as the fairy godmother, you've got, I believe, Rob Paulson as the Grand Duke and Jacques, though we haven't seen Jacques yet. Jacques is going to come later on, and then obviously you have Susan Blakesley as Lady Tremaine, and then Anastasia and Gisela, Tressa McNeil and Russi Taylor. And yes, it's nice to see them come back to do this, but I mean, it's Disney. They are pretty much insanely amazing at getting their cast members to return to do these sorts of projects. And oh, Counter Hammer. Love Counter Hammer. Basically what it does is if you block, then you can immediately counterattack. So it does make blocking a much more useful thing to be doing, other than, you know, not taking damage. It does just make combat a bit easier because you've just got a bit more to be able to fight back with. But yeah, we're already at the final room for this world, which is kind of nuts. But, oh my god. I'm definitely getting another cure, or a cure if I haven't already got one. Because, yeah, cure is a godsend, because cure means that I no longer have to use potions, which are obviously finite. And that means that then I can actually, you know, fight a bit more effectively. And let's see, can I meld any commands? I'm going to realise very quickly, well not very quickly, it's going to take me pretty much most of Terra's story. Hide Unusable is a very helpful little thing that they have in this menu, because it means that it only shows you the usable commands that you can meld, which is a godsend for actually achieving anything. And yes, we've got a bit of a Blazara, and I'll definitely take an attack haste, thank you very much. Because, my word, I need all the help I can get with making Terra move faster. And yeah, let's just make sure we save up, because one of the things that can happen in this game, and certainly happens to me a few times throughout the course of the playthrough, is that I give myself new moves that I'm not necessarily used to using, and at that point I become a little bit unstuck. And bloody hell, I'm missing 2 chests. We'll fix that right up, don't worry. But yeah, so I end up going into like a boss fight, and I've got moves that I'm not used to using, and then it's all of a sudden just like, oh, this was a really bad idea. Because sometimes you end up in boss fights where your attacks just are not suitable, and you just have to kind of deal with it. But yes, here we have a really awesome unversed that I really like. It's a great boss fight. Or at least a great idea for a boss fight, and I love its design.
Down here!
So, I believe
I'll take care of this.
that this is the Symphony Master. I just need to double check that factoid, but I'm pretty sure that is what he's called, because his whole shtick is the different instruments that have different attacks. So yeah, here we go. This is a nice, lovely list of all the unversed throughout the game. And yeah, it's the Symphony Master. Which, yeah, it just looks really fun. And I love the whole idea of musical instruments as weapons, and yeah, it does just make me really happy. It's also quite cool to have an enemy that's just constantly conducting all the time. I think it just works really, really well. But yeah, he ain't gonna last too much longer, although obviously jumping up and down like that is gonna help him last a teensy bit longer. I think, yes, there we go. Symphony Master is defeated, and I'm very happy with that result.
Thank you. You saved us all. The guests were just starting to enjoy themselves.
Well, don't give up just yet.
Oh!
Tell me something. Have you always had a problem around here with those monsters?
No, I believe... They began to appear shortly after a boy in a mask arrived in our kingdom. Those that saw him said the monsters obeyed his every command.
A boy in a mask? Do you know where he is now?
Well, no. I don't believe anyone has seen him since then.
I see.
Oh, my goodness. It's midnight.
Yes, so it is. But why?
Goodbye.
Wait, come back. Please come back.
I'm sorry.
Mademoiselle! Senorita! Wait!
Aqua!
Terra! Terra, Ven ran away from home.
What?
I think he left to go find you. Do you have any idea why?
No. Actually, just before I left, he tried to tell me something. I should have listened to what he had to say.
Oh. So, did you manage to locate Master Xehanort?
No, but it seems he's looking for pure hearts filled with light.
Pure hearts, filled with light.
All I can tell you is that his search hasn't taken him here.
Alright. I'll stay and see if I can find more clues.
Okay. The prince is in the ballroom ahead. He might have some answers.
Thanks.
Aqua! You still have the same dream?
Well, yes.
There's this girl here. Her name is Cinderella. She made me realize how powerful it is just to believe. No matter how impossible things seem, a powerful enough dream will always be enough to light the darkness. If you see her, give her my thanks.
Will do.
The boy in the mask who is leading the Unversed. Who is he? Does he have anything to do with Master Xehanort's disappearance?
Well, I'm sure that we will find out at some point throughout the course of this story, and it's nice that sort of we do get moments of all the different stories crossing over, because ultimately you've got Aqua, Terra, and then going throughout the worlds, and of course they're going to end up running into each other as they go. And it does also then bring up the sort of interesting moments where you get to see the stories from different angles. So obviously in this instance we just briefly got a glimpse at Aqua as she appeared in this world just as we were about to leave, so we had that crossover. But then later on you're going to get sort of totally different perspectives on the same scene, and while it can appear a little bit repetitive perhaps, because you end up hearing the same dialogue and so on and so forth time and time again, it is that whole interesting thing of, so this is how this character viewed it, and this is where they end up going afterwards, and so on and so forth. And I think also it helps that in pretty much every instance the cutscenes are framed from the different characters' viewpoints. So you're not, while you're listening to the same dialogue, you're not always watching the same scene. So that really does definitely help. But yeah, we're really not going to spend that much time in the Castle of Dreams anymore, because we picked up everything that we can so far. We've just got, I believe, one more chest to pick up. Oh, we definitely can't pick up that sticker right now. There is no way Terra can jump high enough for that one. I wish he could. It drives me nuts that it takes a very long time for us to get to getting high jump. But hey, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And yeah, there's now a whole bunch of unversed in the ballroom. I suppose all those, well, all that complete lack of people caused Dandini the Grand Duke to completely lose his marbles. And just all that negativity caused all these inverts to appear. Clearly that's what happens. So yes, here we have another one of those unversed challenges. This one's definitely a lot more challenging than the previous one, because you've got these lone runners who run about all over the place, and really your best way of dealing with them is to have these sort of area of effect attacks. And I think if you have those stronger area of effect attacks that you get towards the end of the game, then you can definitely do well at this. As it stands, I am just not prepared to deal with this properly, because I tried. I really did try. But in order to get a 3-star ranking on this, you need 30 plus hits, and yeah, I just pretty much consistently around 22, and yeah, Terra speed is terrible. It is mentioned here that using a fully leveled up Ventus D-Link can get you through this quite nicely, and it's pretty much the recommended way, because you get that extra haste in terms of dealing with it. When you're using other characters, it's using things like Mega Flare, which you can meld later on, and then Aqua has quite a few nice things to deal with it. And you are going to see all of the unversed challenges that the game has to offer. You're just going to see some of them, but it'll help to give you an idea of what they can be like. But yes, that is pretty much us done in the Castle of Dreams. So we just need to, make sure that we get out. There was a much faster way of dealing with this, I believe, but hey, anything to just, make me extend out apart a little bit for no good reason. But yes, the Castle of Dreams is pretty much done for Terra for now, so we only have one world left that we can visit in our current circle, so let's head on to the Dwarf Woodlands, although I do believe we have one extra thing to do as well, but we'll get to that when we get to that.